You've been praying, you've been patient, and yet it feels like heaven hit the pause button. Doors that should have opened are still shut. People who said they'd help disappeared. You look around and wonder, did God forget? Did he change his mind? Did he miss the deadline? But hear me right now, delay is not denial, it's divine development. God is not ignoring you. He's not punishing you, he's preparing you, because what you're asking for, that dream, that vision, that breakthrough, it's big. It's beautiful, it's part of your destiny. But God will never give you something meant to bless you until you're ready to carry it. See, when you plant a seed, you don't see anything for a while. You water it, you wait on it, and from the outside it looks like nothing's happening. But underneath the soil, roots are forming, and the deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. Some of y'all want to go tall without going deep. But anything that grows high without roots won't last long when the winds come. You want the platform, but can you carry the pressure? You want the opportunity, but are you ready for the responsibility? You want God to move fast, but God is more concerned about who you're becoming than how fast you get there. That delay in your life, that uncomfortable, confusing, frustrating space, it's not empty time, it's construction time. It's where your character is being built, where your faith is being tested, where your motives are being refined. Because the truth is, some of the prayers we pray, if God answered them right now, they'd crush us. You're asking for the blessing, but God is building your capacity. You're asking for success, but he's teaching you humility first. You're asking for the next level, but he's showing you how to steward what you have now. See, delay doesn't mean God said no. It might just mean God said not yet. Because the right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. And let's be honest, sometimes we don't even realize what we're asking for. We think we're ready. We think we've got it figured out, but God sees the full picture. He knows what you can't see. He knows what's coming around the corner, so instead of getting bitter in the delay, get better in it. Instead of complaining, start training, because when God finally opens that door, he won't give you time to prepare. You gotta be ready, not getting ready, but already ready, and that readiness, that happens in the delay. Delay is not wasted time, it's an investment in your future. It's God saying, I care too much about your destiny to let you step into it unprepared. It's God saying, I love you too much to let you fall under the weight of something you weren't built to carry yet. Think about the people who rise too fast. They explode and disappear. But the ones who take their time, the ones who walk through the fire and keep their head down and keep showing up, keep learning, keep growing, those are the ones who last, because here's the secret. Destiny doesn't arrive in a rush. It's not some magical moment where everything just falls into place. It's built day by day, moment by moment in the delay. It's shaped in the silence, molded in the waiting, formed in the fire. You don't become great when the spotlight hits. You become great in the dark when nobody's watching. When it's just you, your faith, and your fight, that's where destiny is born, so don't misinterpret God's delay. It's not rejection, it's preparation. You're not forgotten, you're being formed. And when the time is right, when your character lines up with your calling, when your discipline catches up with your dream, the door will open. And when it does, you'll realize that every second of that delay was building something unstoppable in you. God's delay is preparing your destiny. You want the promise, I get it. You want to walk in that destiny. You've seen it in your spirit, you've dreamed it at night, you've felt it in prayer. But let me ask you something. Can the current version of you carry what the future version of you is called to handle? That's the real question, because God isn't just taking you to destiny, he's shaping you for it. And destiny requires a stronger version of you. Not louder, not busier, stronger. We live in a world that loves speed, move fast, get more, build bigger. But God, He's not trying to rush you to a moment. He's trying to grow you into a person. See, the door you're praying for, God could open it tomorrow. But if you're not ready to stand in the room, the very thing that was supposed to bless you could break you. So He takes His time, not because He's slow, but because He's strategic. He knows what your future requires. He knows what battles are waiting on the next level. He knows what kind of pressure is attached to that platform. And He's not going to promote you into warfare that your character can't survive. You see, elevation without transformation is dangerous. Too many people want the results of destiny, but they don't want the refining that gets you there. We say, God, make me great, but greatness comes through pain, through pressure, through pruning. You don't get oil without crushing the olive. You don't get gold without putting it through fire. So if God's stretching you right now, if it feels like you're being pressed, tested, challenged from every side, that's not punishment. That's preparation. That's God saying, I'm building a version of you that won't fold when the heat rises. Because the destiny God has for you is heavy. It's weighty. It comes with influence, with responsibility, with impact. And He can't give that kind of assignment to someone who still runs every time it gets hard. That's why He's building your endurance. That's why He's calling you to forgive again. To serve even when no one's clapping. To be faithful in the little, even when it looks like nobody sees. Because He's forming something in you that platforms can't produce. He's teaching you how to carry power with humility, how to lead without needing to be liked, how to love people even when they don't love you back. He's breaking insecurity, He's burning off ego, He's dealing with those hidden places that no one sees but Him. Because before God gives you what's in His hand, He always deals with what's in your heart. We think we're ready. But readiness isn't about hype. It's not about how many followers you have or how good you look on the surface. It's about your soul being steady, your faith being anchored, your identity being rooted not in applause, not in status, but in truth. So yes, it's hard. Yes, it feels slow. Yes, sometimes it looks like others are passing you by, but don't compare your process to theirs. Don't look at someone else's moment and question your own momentum. You're not late. You're not behind. You're being built because when you arrive, when that door swings wide, you won't walk in timid. You'll walk in ready. You'll walk in strong. You'll walk in sure of who you are because you were forged in fire before you ever stepped into favor. You didn't just show up, you grew into it. You became the kind of person who doesn't just step into destiny but can sustain it. That's what God's after. Not just giving you the dream, but forming the version of you that can carry it. Because this version of you is good, but He's calling you higher, He's calling you stronger, and He's building a version of you that hell can't shake. Your destiny requires a stronger version of you. You ever been in a place where it feels like life just hit pause? You're praying, but nothing's shifting. You're showing up, but doors ain't opening. You're staying faithful, but it still feels like God went silent on you. Let me tell you something that changed the way I looked at delay forever. The waiting room is actually the classroom. See, when we think of waiting, we think of wasting. We treat delay like dead time, but God doesn't waste a single second. If you're in a season of waiting, I promise you, He's teaching you something, because God doesn't put you in holding patterns just to frustrate you. He puts you there to form you. Now I get it. The waiting room doesn't feel holy. It feels confusing. It feels like you're stuck between the prophecy and the promise, but that space in between, that quiet, uncomfortable, stretching space, that's where God is doing His deepest work. You might be waiting for a breakthrough. You might be waiting for clarity, healing, promotion, peace, but while you're waiting for things around you to change, God's using the waiting to change you. He's working on your vision, your obedience, your patience, your wisdom, and the crazy part, most of the time you don't even realize the lesson until later. You look back and say, "Oh, that's what God was doing. That breakdown was teaching you how to trust. That betrayal was teaching you how to forgive. That dry season was teaching you how to depend on the Word and not the world." We think silence means absence, but silence is where God speaks the loudest to your soul, if you're listening. In the stillness, He's stripping distractions. In the quiet, He's building your discernment. You know what the problem is. We're so quick to run from discomfort. We don't want to sit still long enough to learn. We want progress without patience. We want promotion without process. But let me tell you, if you skip class, you won't be ready for what's next. Because everything you're going through right now is preparing you for what you prayed for. Every delay is a setup for divine instruction. Every moment in the waiting room is shaping your perspective. Think about it. You wouldn't give car keys to a 10-year-old just because they want to drive. They might be eager, but they're not ready. So why do we think God would drop purpose on us before we've learned how to carry it? God is saying, before I give you what you asked for, let me teach you how to hold it right. Let me teach you how to protect it, how to steward it, how to survive with it. Because the blessing can become a burden if you get it without understanding. So what's the lesson in your waiting? Maybe it's trust. Maybe it's gratitude. Maybe God is teaching you how to praise even when nothing's happening, because real faith doesn't show up when the door opens. Real faith is built when nothing moves, and you keep walking anyway. I know it's hard. I know it feels long. But what if I told you this season is producing something in you that the next season requires? You can't skip this. You can't fast forward through what God is trying to develop in you. And if you're in that classroom right now, if you're in the waiting room, don't check out. Don't complain your way through it. Lean in. Ask God, what are you teaching me here? Because the lesson you learn in this room might be the very thing that keeps you standing in the next one. Don't just wait. Grow. Don't just survive. Mature. Let patience do its perfect work. Let the delay sharpen your hearing, deepen your roots, and stretch your spirit. Because when God finally moves, when that breakthrough hits, when that calling unfolds, when that door opens, you'll be ready. Not just to walk into it, but to thrive in it. Because you didn't skip class. You stayed, you studied, you surrendered. The waiting room is a classroom. You've been waiting a long time. You've seen people around you rise, take off, build, succeed, and you're still waiting on that moment. You're still standing on that word God gave you, still holding on to a dream that looks like it's moving further away instead of getting closer. But hear me tonight, when the time is right, it won't just happen, it will explode. See, God doesn't move on your schedule, He moves on His sovereignty. And when heaven says now, everything can change in a moment, years of silence, and then suddenly everything makes sense. Everything shifts, everything opens, everything aligns. That's how God moves. It might feel like nothing is happening, but behind the scenes, He's been building something far bigger than what you imagined. He's been preparing you, stretching you, refining you, because what's coming isn't ordinary. And ordinary preparation won't get you ready for supernatural release. You think you're waiting on God, but sometimes God is waiting on you to finish becoming the version of yourself that can carry what He's about to drop in your life. See, destiny is not something you chase. Destiny is something you collide with. It meets you at the intersection of maturity, timing, and obedience. And when that intersection hits, there's no devil in hell, no mistake in your past, no delay that can stop it. God doesn't do random. When He moves with purpose, with force, with precision. You look at Joseph, 1 minute he's in prison, the next he's second in command over Egypt. David, 1 minute he's watching sheep, the next he's slaying a giant in front of a nation. Jesus, 30 years of silence, then 3 years of world-shaking purpose. What happened? Suddenly, the moment arrived, the process produced the person, and purpose came running. Don't let the delay fool you into thinking you've been denied. Don't let the silence convince you you've been forgotten, because the longer it takes, the bigger it usually is. Some blessings take time because they're too great to be rushed. Some callings take years because they're too heavy to be handed out casually. If it hasn't happened yet, maybe it's because what's being prepared is greater than what you asked for. And God knows, if you saw the full picture, it would overwhelm you. So he releases it in pieces, not because he's teasing you, but because he's protecting you. The moment you think nothing's happening is often the moment God is finishing the final touches, because when the time is right, he doesn't need a committee, a connection, or a confirmation. He just speaks and mountains move. He just speaks and the favor falls. He just speaks and the door you couldn't kick open flies off the hinges. You don't need 10 people to approve you. You just need one whisper from God, and when it comes, it'll make sense why the wait was so long. Why the battles were so tough, why the road was so lonely, because the longer the tension, the greater the release. You've been pulled back like an arrow, stretched, tested, bent, but you're not breaking, you're being launched. And when God lets go, you won't ease into it, you'll fly. It'll be fast, it'll be powerful, it'll be undeniable. Because God's not interested in almost, he's the God of exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. So don't panic in the pause. Don't lose faith in the waiting. He's setting the stage. He's lining up the right people, the right opportunity, the right moment. And when it hits, you'll see why it couldn't come a second earlier or a second later. It's not going to trickle in. It's going to pour. It's not going to crawl. It's going to erupt. It won't be something you can explain. It'll be something that only God can take credit for. So keep praying, keep preparing, keep your oil full and your eyes open, because when God moves, it won't just happen. It will explode.